Hi guys, it's Jordan. Welcome back to Couture Commitments. I know I haven't posted on this channel in a little while, but I figured it's Valentine's Day and there's not a better time to jump back into this than the day of love, and a day when a lot of people are going to be getting engaged. I know we're knee deep in engagement season. I've been seeing a lot of engagements on my personal Facebook feed, so congrats to all of my friends as a little side note, but I figured that this is a really good time to have a little crash course about rings and things. There are a lot of things that you need to know as a ring buyer, a lot of things that are pretty important to know as a ring receiver as well. So this is gonna be a class and you better take notes. I am going to have a very detailed description of the things that I'm going to be just touching on in this video on my blog, so I will leave a link to the full explanation of everything, but this is going to be as quick as I could possibly make it. It still might be a little lengthy, but please stick around through the full thing because it's good stuff. You'll want to know it. So settle up. Hope you have a pen ready. Before we get started, some of you may be wondering what my qualifications are to even speak to this. For those of you who don't know, I am a wedding planner and I did have to study a whole section on rings in order to receive my wedding planning certification. I also grew up with a licensed gemologist as a mother. She worked as a jeweler's apprentice for many years and she does have a GIA certification, so she's passed on a lot of wisdom to me. And just in general, I've studied this stuff a lot because I am wedding obsessed. It just kind of happens. If you buy enough Martha Stewart magazines, you learn a lot of stuff about rings. So hopefully this will be a nice little compact way to pass on all of this information to you, and I hope you get a lot out of it. So let's jump right in to things to think about if you are the ring buyer. The number one thing I tell people if they are purchasing a diamond ring is to make sure that their stone is conflict free. Now for those who are not familiar with conflict diamonds, blood diamonds, red diamonds, hot diamonds, they're called different things in different contexts. Basically they are diamonds that are used to finance civil wars in countries like Sierra Leone. And obviously just from a humanitarian purpose, it's not a great thing to purchase a blood diamond. It is very easy to purchase a blood diamond though. Most of the big box diamond jewelers will be selling blood diamonds. If you want to find a non-conflict diamond, there are a couple ways to do this. For one, antique diamonds are almost always conflict free, so if you have an heirloom diamond, you're gonna be in the clear for that. The other thing to check is if they are KPCS certified. KPCS stands for the Kimberly Process Certification Scheme, which is designed to slow the circulation of conflict diamonds. So if your jeweler is KPCS certified, you are also in the clear. The second thing to consider is what is the value of the ring, which is a little bit of an odd thing to process through because obviously you think the amount that you're spending is what the true value is, which is not always the case. There are a lot of factors that go into ring value and a lot of factors that will contribute to resale value, which again is a little bit of a weird thing to consider, but if you think about where your ring is going to end up 50 years from now, it's either going to be passed on from generation to generation or it's going to be sold at some point. And if you're thinking about your future children or whoever you might be passing a ring on to sometime in the future, thinking about how much it would be worth to them is something that is worth considering. So here's a breakdown very quickly. Again, I will introduce some more details of this into my blog, but here's a quick crash course into the details that contribute value to your ring. First, we're going to talk about the stone. Obviously, this is what contributes the most value, and some people think that the more blingy a ring is, the more glitter, the more stones, the more value it is. That is completely not the case. The thing that you want to consider are the 4 C's: color, clarity, cut, carat. Color does not just mean is the diamond white or yellow or blue. Just in white diamonds, there is a whole scale of color range from colorless to near colorless to fainter light color, and it keeps going on and on from there, and that definitely will affect the value of your ring. There is a D to Z scale. You're gonna want something between a D and a J. Most of the common diamonds are around an H. Clarity refers to how clean and pure the diamond is. Now, raw diamonds are something that is coming into popularity, and if you're wanting that style, this is not something that you need to worry about because those diamonds are clearly not gonna be on the clarity scale as a traditional white diamond would be. However, if you are getting a traditional ring, clarity is something that you're gonna wanna consider. Again, there is a scale involved to this. Most of the common diamonds on the market are going to be an SI1 or SI2, which means they are slightly included. Obviously, the less included, the better, which means that there aren't as many, impurities involved in the diamond. The less included the diamond is, the more expensive it is going to be. Cut has to do with the shape and the facets of the diamond. This is something that is largely up to personal taste. However, it does affect resale value because some diamonds are cut better than others. It just depends on who handled the diamond and who cut the diamond. It is important to note that cut and clarity can be intertwined. For example, diamonds that have more cuts in it, it's not as easy to see inclusions, therefore you can get a more included diamond with a more intricate cut, and that won't affect the resale. However, if you get a diamond that is, for example, an emerald cut, where there aren't as many cuts and facets in it, you can see inclusions very clearly, so you're going to need a less included diamond, which might cost you a little more. And the last C is carat, which is the weight and size of the diamond. Pretty simple to understand. Obviously, the bigger the diamond, the more it's going to cost. However, I would always say it is better to go for a slightly smaller diamond that has a better clarity and cut than to go for a giant diamond that isn't that great of a quality. And all that information is just for the rock. The setting has a lot to do with resale as well. The type of metal that you use is very important. Obviously, platinum is going to be more expensive and will sell for more than other types of metals, and the price of gold is rising all the time. The fourth thing to consider is how hard it is to maintain. Unfortunately, a lot of the popular ring styles now are devils to maintain. Ring maintenance is something I'm going to get into a little bit later when I talk about things to think about if you're the ring receiver, but understanding ring maintenance is probably something important that you should consider as a buyer too. Can it be resized? This is something almost nobody thinks about because they think if I know her ring size, then I'm good and golden. That is not the case. If you gain or lose weight, your hands do too. As you age, your knuckles change. Just everything changes the way your hands are, and being able to resize your ring is really important because you do not want to be that person that never takes your ring off and then your knuckle swells around your ring and then you have to get your ring sawed off your hand. It's not a fun time. So if you don't want to be that person, just listen to me real quick. All those rings with diamonds completely all the way around the band can't be resized. Diamonds with intricate scroll work and etching all the way around the band can't be resized. Rings made out of cheaper metals like tungsten can't be resized. Long story short, the ability to resize is crucial. And the last thing for the buyer to consider is there a matching band? Not everybody wants a perfectly matching band, and it isn't as necessary if your ring is flat, but if your ring has any sort of shape to it, it is very helpful if a matching band can come with the ring as a set. Unless you just want to shell out $800 or so for a custom band to fit your ring. In which case, knock yourself out. But, if you don't want to do that, look for a set to begin with. Now moving on to information for the ring receiver. If you've already received a ring, I'm sure you are overjoyed, and congratulations! I'm about to ruin all of your joy by giving you a bunch of technical information. Are you ready? You ready to take those notes? Okay, let's go. The first tip, if your significant other has not purchased you a ring yet, is to not make the shopping experience too overwhelming. We all know what it's like to get overblown on Pinterest and pin 50 rings to choose from. But if you can narrow it down to less than 10, I think the ring buyer would appreciate it. The second thing to think about, which I addressed a little bit earlier for the ring buyer, is to keep maintenance in mind. Like I said before, a lot of the popular ring styles are not that easy to maintain, so here are some things you're gonna wanna avoid. Do not wear your ring 24/7. Do not. Don't do it. If you think that your ring is a symbol of your love and that if you take off your ring, your love will die, it won't die. Just take your ring off. Do not wear your ring while you're washing your hands. Do not wear your ring while you're putting on lotion. Do not wear your ring while you are gardening or painting or doing anything that involves dirt. Do not wear your ring inside the house. Just the moment you come home, take your ring off, put it in a ring dish. And if you think I'm being ridiculous, trust me that I'm not. As I said earlier, wearing your ring 24/7, 100% of the time will cause an issue when it comes to resizing. Your hand will grow around the ring and you'll have to get your ring cut off if you don't want to cause permanent damage to your hand. So if that isn't reason enough not to wear your ring 24/7, I don't know what is. But just in terms of the long-term maintenance of your ring, lotion gets under your stones and gunks up your ring. Water causes erosion and scratches. You can knock your ring against stuff. You can drop your ring. A lot of things happen to your ring that you can just avoid by taking it off. And something that nobody tells you about when you're purchasing a ring is about re-tipping. And if you've never heard this term, I'm not surprised. All of the prongs on each of your diamonds, if you wear your ring a lot, will need re-tipped at some point because the tips wear down and they will need to be built back up. Now this can be avoided completely if you just don't wear your ring all the time. My mother has had her ring for more than 30 years and has never once had to get it re-tipped. There are other people that wear their rings 24/7 and have to get their ring tipped every single year, which if you have one of those really blingy rings with a million diamonds in them, it's going to be a very expensive process for you. As a quick example, this is a best-selling ring at Kay Jewelers. There are 53 diamonds in this ring, I counted. There are 4 prongs per diamond, which means 212 tips. A lot of jewelers' re-tipping fee is per tip, and you don't want to re-tip 212 tips every single year. So just do Jordan a favor and take your ring off. My last tip is a quickie: solder your bands together. A lot of people don't like to do this because they like to wear their wedding band on its own instead of always with their engagement ring, but it would be better for you in the long run to just get a plain band to wear on its own on days that you don't want to wear your full set. If you want to wear your full set, solder them together, because if you don't, they rub against each other, which causes wear, which causes maintenance, which causes money. So don't do it. That is all I have for you today. I hope this was beneficial for you. I hope you took copious notes. And like I said, I am going to have a coordinating blog post to this video that is going to include a little bit more information with links and things that might help make this process a bit easier for you. And all in all, I just hope you're having a great Valentine's Day. And welcome to 2017 on this channel. I think that we're gonna be posting a little more around here and we should be having a lot of fun. So hope you're up for that, and I hope you're having a great week. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.